And you could lie about it all day, Scott Jennings, for your buddies in the sick genocidal government of Israel. But we all know, all of America knows they're starving them to death. All of America knows Israel is not our ally. Israel's taking $310 billion off of us. Israel's doing it for land. Israel's committing genocide. We all know. You can lie all you want in mainstream media. You can lie all you want in Washington. But now we look at you with the same Scott Jennings face. Okay, with that stupid, smug skepticism. Yeah, right back at you, brother. We all think you're a toady. We think you're a fool. And sitting there simping for Israel and betraying America.
And the deal has to be executed by the people who took the hostages, Hamas. They're the ones holding them. They're the ones who have been holding them since October the 7th. They keep, talking about possible incremental. Why don't they just release? Can you answer one simple question?
They want to release the hostages.
All of them?
Yes.
How many?
They accepted a ceasefire.
They said maybe 10.
Give us a 60-day pause in this war. We will return every single hostage. Israel stands in the way every single time.
Hamas has reiterated again today that they are willing to release all of the hostages as part of a ceasefire deal. Yet another example of me being right and the smug Israel first Scott Jennings, getting proven wrong. But nonetheless, while Hamas has made similar statements in the past, the militant group reiterated the position late on Wednesday after President Trump called on it to immediately release all of the living hostages still held in Gaza. And here's the post on Truth Social where Trump says, tell Hamas to immediately give back all 20 hostages, not 2 or 5 or 7, and things will change rapidly. It will end. Well, I got news for you, buddy. They have accepted the ceasefire. And Israel, despite the fact that these were the terms that they initially wanted, is saying, no, we don't want it. Because of course, we intend on taking that land, pushing the Palestinians out, and annexing the West Bank while we're at it. They say it out loud. Why are they treating us like we're stupid? They say it out loud.
Yeah, so look, the mainstream media is actually starting to finally get a little bit better. You've seen me criticize them at large, and you've seen me criticize them vociferously on the issue of Israel. But now they're beginning to report it as it really is, because they've now gotten to a point of great frustration 2 years in. So they've now seen the Israeli government lie almost every single time, and then their stories are disproven, etc.
The mainstream media, the corporate media in America, sorry to interrupt you, Cenk, they're complicit in genocide. I want to be clear about that, because they're not stupid. Okay, they're not stupid. We have far less resources than they do. We've been seeing the exact same things that they see. We've been hearing the exact same statements from Israeli politicians as they have. They are complicit in genocide. Don't try to cover it up now. Don't try to pretend like you haven't been complicit in genocide. You're complicit in genocide. That's it.
Anna,
go ahead.
You're totally right, and you know how much I've said that a million times on the show. But I want to get to one of the specific reasons for that real quick. This is a little bit of a tangent from this story, but the reason is because they're afraid. Because if you criticize Israel, you will be called an anti-Semite, and they will try to ruin your life.
It's better to be complicit in genocide, I guess.
No, I get. I'm explaining why they're doing it, because they're cowards. So journalists are supposed to be brave. And by the way, the journalists in Gaza are the bravest people on earth. And Israel's on a campaign to murder as many of them as possible. So that's what real journalism looks like. So for these journalists though, if you criticize Israel even by an inch, there's groups that are organized in America that are basically thugs working on behalf of Israel that will pretend that reporter is an anti-Semite, even if they're Jewish, by the way. And then they will say, you have to fire him, you have to fire him, you have to fire him, you have to fire him. And they will tell every employer from the rest of time, he's a well-known anti-Semite. Well-known anti-Semite. Anti-Semite shouldn't work. And then maybe they'll target his family, etc. So that's why they're scared to death. They're like, but Israel, every genocide scholar has declared that it's a genocide. Oh, please don't fire me, okay? So if you're gonna pretend that's not happening, you're lying. That's definitely happening. We've seen it with our own eyes. So anyways, but despite that, after 2 brutal years, now the New York Times is being a lot clearer. And they clarified in this article 2 times. No, maybe even 3 times. Hamas has accepted the peace deal. They've accepted it a number of times now and said they would return all of the hostages. There's no question about it. It's Israel that changed. First they said they wanted a graduated deal. Now they say they want a comprehensive. As soon as Hamas accepted their deal, okay? And that's Hamas, by the way, crumbling because the Palestinians are in terrible situation and they don't want, I don't know the motivation of Hamas. I hope they have a little bit of humanity and care about the starving children. But either way, they're like, okay, you win, we'll take your deal. And Israel's like, oh, you did? Damn it, that you were supposed to not take it. We're now changing it. Now we want a comprehensive deal. What's part of your comprehensive deal? Two things that have never made any sense, and to this late date, again, mainstream media has been awful on this, and they continue to be awful on this. Two things. One is complete,
militarization, right? Like basically give up your arsenal.
You have to give up, no, forget arsenal. They say you have to give up all of your weapons.
Yeah.
And Hamas has to surrender. Okay, what does it mean to give up all your weapons? How do we know? Like if they come out and give they're like, okay, here's 200 missiles and 300 AK-47s. How do we know that's all of it? You know what Israel say? That's not all of it. We don't count it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. And they say, okay, Hamas has to surrender. So are all these guys gonna, and how we don't know how many people are in Hamas. So if let's say 10,000 people came out and said, oh, we are Hamas and we are surrendering, go ahead Israel, kill us, right? First of all, do you think people are gonna do that?
Israel thinks the entirety of the Gaza Strip is Hamas.
Yeah, so my point is, they are purposely putting out a deal now that is like literally, empirically unattainable. We don't know how many weapons they have. We don't know how many people are in Hamas. So they know that it is not doable because they don't want peace. This is not arguable. The people who are continuing this war and do not want peace is Israel. And it's not 50-50 and it's not even 80-20. It is so stunningly clear. Even the New York Times had to clarify several times. Hamas has accepted the peace deal. Israel has not. They have violated their own agreement, their own offer, and it made an impossible offer back.
Yep.
Why? Because now that's the part they won't tell you. Because this has always been about taking Gaza. Obviously, if you don't realize that they destroyed everything in Gaza, so that they can say, oh, I guess there's nowhere to live. I guess we got to kick out the Palestinians. Oh, I guess it's ours. But besides which, you don't have to guess at it because they already said it and they already voted on it. I hate scams, especially the ones that target seniors, and Medicare's chock full of them. Between commission-hungry brokers and thousands of confusing plan options, most seniors aren't on the best plan for them. That's why I partner with Chapter. They're fully independent and they work for you, not the insurance companies. That's really important. They can review all your options in under 20 minutes, and the average senior they help saves over $1,100 a year. And the best part of it is, it doesn't cost you a thing. So if you're turning 65, call the number on the screen to connect with a Chapter advisor today. No Palestinian state will ever exist. We're going to take Gaza, and Smotrich and another minister said we're going to annihilate everyone in Gaza, and yes, we're starving them to death. What are you gonna do about it? So that's the current sick government of Israel that hates peace, loves war, loves genocide, and is honestly a terrorist government that we are forced to fund as American taxpayers. Yeah. It's like forcing us to pay for the Khmer Rouge, or yes, the Serbs that were slaughtering the Bosnians, or any genocide. Oh no, you have to pay for that genocide, otherwise you hate Jews. What an insane, ludicrous, and by the way, anti-Semitic argument.
100%, yes, exactly. And by the way, Scott Jennings has been attacking me on Twitter, or X, arguing that, I hate Israel because I think foreign wars have contributed more to our national debt than the fact that our Social Security is not, taxing wealthier people more of their income. Okay, number one, I do hate the state of Israel, meaning the government of Israel. I do, and I have no bones about admitting that publicly. I despise them. I think they're evil. I think that they have blood on their hands, and I think they engage in some of the most their behavior is so disgusting that it has fundamentally changed my view of the world and my own government. Yes, I hate the government of Israel deeply, deeply.
Yeah, and so look, and they always have double standards too. So
why am I required to love Israel?
What a strange requirement. You know what?
I'm an American.
Scott Jennings doesn't properly love Turkey.
No, he doesn't properly love America enough. Why are you making Americans complicit in a genocide by defending the genocide? And by the way, his whole argument is, no. Do not at all criticize the fact that we fund Israel's wars. We as American citizens have to bankroll Israel's atrocities. That's what he's mad about. That I would have the audacity to question Americans being forced to pay for Israel's atrocities.
Yeah, I bring up Turkey because if you put any other country in, it makes no sense at all. You have to love the Netherlands. If you don't love the Netherlands, you're a terrible person. What? Why? Why do I have to love the Netherlands? They're a perfectly lovely country, but why do I have to love them? Why do I have to give them $300 billion? Why do I have to support a genocide they're doing? But when it comes to Israel, the Scott Jennings of the world, because Scott is a guy who cares about his own power. So he realizes if I kiss Trump's ass, I'm gonna get more power. And it's not rocket science to figure out in Washington, if you kiss Israel's ass, you're gonna get maximum power. If you criticize Israel slightly, how dare you? You should be canceled, canceled, right? And by the way, he could attack you and then he will turn around and I guarantee you he'll make a case. They were mean to me. They said that I make faces on CNN when I go, You do. Yep. You make it every time somebody's talking. Scott Jennings' faces. I'm smug. I'm better than you. And you don't know anything. And you don't love America. If you love Israel and you say we have to pay for their genocide, we have to pay for it. Yeah. You don't love America. You just want to represent a foreign government. Why don't you go on channel 12 or whatever other channel there is in Israel and leave us alone? Okay, so. At this point, it's super obvious what's happening. Israel is trying to steal Gaza, and now they're looking to annex the West Bank. And fools and people like Scott Jennings, who basically
genocide defenders. That's
what they are. They're defending an ethnic cleansing, sick genocide in Israel. And what drives me crazy and it gets under my skin is that everyone in Washington thinks like, oh, calling it a genocide, Israel has not approved that. Israel will be very unhappy. I can't believe you're calling it a genocide. That is very cancelable offense, right? You're not allowed to say things like that. What happened to freedom of speech, right? What happened to America's rights?
No, our rights don't matter. Our rights don't matter at all when it comes to that foreign country.
I got news for Scott Jennings and everyone in Washington. Everyone in Washington. We are not immoral monsters like you. We actually care about human beings, whether they're Palestinian or Israeli or anywhere in the world. We think they should be treated the same. We're horrified when October 7th happens and 1,200 innocent people die. We're also horrified when 64,000 people die in Palestine, 20,000 children. Now mass starvation, and you could lie about it all day, Scott Jennings, for your buddies in the sick genocidal government of Israel. But we all know, all of America knows they're starving them to death. All of America knows Israel is not our ally. Israel's taking $310 billion off of us. Israel's doing it for land. Israel's committing genocide. We all know. You can lie all you want in mainstream media. You can lie all you want in Washington. But now we look at you with the same Scott Jennings face. Okay, with that stupid, smug skepticism. Yeah, right back at you, brother. We all think you're a toady. We think you're a fool. And sitting there simping for Israel and betraying America. That's what we think of you. And it's not about Scott Jennings. It's about Washington. We're all sick of you. Now the left and the right and the middle. We're not interested in funding a genocide. Stop stealing our money for a genocidal government. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.